everyone, welcome to English and More. This is Shweta Roy, your English teacher, and today I'm going to talk about a very important topic: how to write impressive value-based answers. Guys, so your exams are around the corner and the first exam that you have is English. So I hope by now you are absolutely thorough with all the chapters. So these little tips and tricks, the last moment advices and suggestions and tips to structure your answers would definitely be of great help to answer and attempt your questions, right? And I will also be giving you some very useful tips to make your answers impressive and stand out from the rest. Okay, so are you guys ready for this amazing session with me, your English teacher? Yes? Okay, so let's get started with the value-based questions that you would definitely have in your paper. So I'll give you a sample question and I will also give the solution to that question and that would help you to structure your answers which you might get in your paper. So this question is taken from your sample paper. Okay, the question is: farce is a kind of comedy which includes situations and dialogues that are ridiculous, exaggerated and even absurd. Evaluate the play The Proposal as a farce. You all are thorough by now with the play Proposal, which is one of my favorites, right? The play is really humorous and at the same time it is a satire. If you remember, we have already gone through the play, right? So the question that has been asked to you is to define the proposal, to justify basically the proposal as a farce. And if you notice the question, if you read the question carefully, the definition of farce is already provided to you. Okay, what is farce? It's a kind of comedy, which means it is a genre of comedy. Okay, and what does it include? It includes situations, dialogues which are ridiculous, exaggerated and also absurd. Now you have to basically point out those situations in the play, those dialogues in the play which are exaggerated and which adds to the humor of the play, right? So first step would be to mind map those situations, dialogues or characteristic features in your mind. Okay, so what are those features which makes this play a farce? You can talk about the constant conflict between Shubukov, Lomov and Natalia. Okay, Natalia and Lomov's conflict for that property, the land, right? And then you can also talk about their conflict for the breed of dog. Okay, and then definitely talk about the ending of the play, which really ends humorously, right? If you remember the humorous ending of the play, it also has a satirical overtone, of course, but please note that you have not been asked to describe the play as a satire, so don't go into the satire, into that category. Don't talk about the elements of satire here. That is not what you have been asked. So please read the question very carefully. You've been asked to describe this play as a farce. Farce is different from that of satire. Farce is basically the comic elements. Okay, satire is comedy but with a corrective function. So that corrective function is not something which has been asked in this question. So do not go into that, otherwise it would be unnecessary elaboration of your answer. Okay, so stick to the question. That is very important tip for you. How would you begin your answer? You can talk about farce in the first introductory sentence. The definition is already provided to you, so that is an advantage. So you can just mold that, you can speak the same words in a different kind of language. You can just mold it in your own way. So you can basically say a farce can be defined as a sub-genre of comedy which is characterized by situations and dialogues which are ridiculous, exaggerated and absurd. You can also talk about the difference, the fine line between a comedy and a farce. What is that? A comedy provokes thoughtful laughter, but in a farce, the laughter arises from the absurdity of the situation, which is basically exaggerated and improbable, right? So that's a fine line between farce and comedy. Of course, farce is it's a category of comedy itself, but Where from the comedy arises? From the the absurdity, the ridiculous behavior, dialogue, situations, right? So first line you can talk about that. Next comes the body. This serves as the introduction. Next you will have the body. Okay, now what can you write in the body? We have already mind mapped the points, right? You can talk about the conflict between Natalia and Lomov. So you can say that Chekhov's one-act comedy or one-act play, The Proposal, has all these qualities, making it an epitome of a farce. Okay, now in this play we are presented with a high-strung couple. Who is this? Who are these people? Lomov and Natalia, who are so completely occupied with arguing over matters both great and small, whether it's who owns a piece of land. There you can talk about that piece of land which was a point of conflict, okay, and or whose family has the best hunting dog. So you can talk about that dog's breed, the superiority of the breed of the dog, okay, that they are unable to become engaged. Thus, the play can be considered as a farcical play, which considers reflection of human weakness. Now, this point can go at the end. Okay, first you can talk about Natalia and Natalia and Lomov's conflict, talking about the dog's breed, the superiority of the breed of the dog, and the point of conflict which they had for the land. Then you can also talk about the characteristic features of Lomov and Natalia. Remember, Lomov is a hypochondriac. Okay, and he's prone to having all kinds of imaginary pains and palpitations. And Natalia is also unstable, right? Getting hysterical. Remember, she got hysterical when she senses that she has driven away Lomov and in the process a prospective groom. So she is definitely hysteric and she starts crying. So you can also mention that is absurd, right? And further, the end of the play, that is very important. So farce ensues at the end of the play when Natalia's father, Shubukov, forces his daughter and Lomov to get engaged, when right after Lomov has come around after the collapse. If you remember, he got collapsed, and then just after he comes back to senses, Shubukov asks him to get married, right? And the absurdity continues with Lomov and Natalia arguing even after she has accepted the marriage proposal, right? Even though both of them accepted to get married to each other, again the fighting continues. And then you can end your answer with the concluding statement saying, thus the play can be considered as a farcical play which reflects human weaknesses with comical elements. That's it, because you have been asked about the comical elements. So just stick to that. I hope this was helpful for you, and now you can frame the other answers following this structure, right? So guys, if you did like this video, do not forget to give me your quick thumbs up. So do hit the like button, share this video amongst your friends, and for more such videos, please do not forget to subscribe to English and More. Signing off. Bye-bye. Take care. Good luck.